Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Fish Room. In today's video I'm going to be showing you around the fish room. Questions I get asked a lot. How do I maintain the fish room? How much does it cost to run the fish room? How do I make time for the fish room? Is it hard, and would I change anything? Starting from the top, how I maintain the fish room. I do one water change a week in all my aquariums. Now, there is breeders out there who say in your fry tanks you need to do one water change per day on your fry tanks. That doesn't work for me. I do one water change a week, that's it. I have a very high success rate, and I just don't see the point in me changing to do something. Why fix what's not broken? This works, I'm just going to stick with it. Now, this may not work for you. This is solely just what works for me. But I try to do one water change a week. I try and do it all the same day. How I make time for the fish room, I try and take 1 hour every day. That's all I try and do. If I can take an hour and I can come in, look at all the aquariums, check for any sickness, check for any casualties or any, if I can see anything wrong with the tanks. I try and do water checks as well. I test my water regularly, just to be sure you don't want a nitrate spike, because that'll just wipe out a tank in no time at all. How much does it cost to run the fish room? I try and run it as cost effective as possible. Now, I am in the process of trying to figure out a way of how to heat the room itself. If I can keep the room at a certain temperature, then I have no need for heaters, because the room will stay at the same temperature. Heaters are your biggest source of power. They're what's going to drain your electric and what's going to give you a high electric bill. Filtration wise, my rack runs on air pumps. Air pumps are very, very cheap to run. If you get yourself like a high powered air pump, you can run, like me, I run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I run 6 sponge filters off of one air pump, and I have another air pump that I put my tumblers on, and that's how I incubate the eggs. And it's very, very, very cost effective. Now, I do have heaters in the tanks at the moment, but hopefully they'll be going soon. As for the big tank, it has to have a big heater just because it's 600 litres, and in the Sump is 125 litres. It's a lot of water to keep warm. But cost wise, I would say the fish room probably costs me, not including food costs, I think just to have it lit up, warm, and filtration, I would say costs me about £20 a week. That's not including any food. Now, food, I have a lot of fish. I have, in my big tank, my breeding tank, there's 60 to 80 African cichlids in there that are very hungry. They like to eat. I feed them once a day, and I feed them quite generously as well. My fry tanks, I have one fry tank with, there must be about 400 fry in it, all different, between peacocks and Buddhas, and different variations of them. I also have a small guppy tank, and plants in there as well. It's not too bad. I feed it once a day, and it just gets cheap flake, and they seem to be doing okay. They're breeding, there's plenty of fry in there, loads of plants for them to hide, and the plants are doing well. But your average I couldn't say per week what I spend on food, but per month, I would say I spend about 20 to 30 pounds a month on food, just because I feed all my African cichlids these. Hikari Sinking Cichlid XL. I found this to be really good. I've tried a lot of other foods and everyone was going on about Origin, the Origin stuff. I also have Origin, them ones there, the stick-on grazers. Personally, I hate them. They leave your tank very cloudy and it just looks dirty, and it takes quite a while for it to flush through the system. I'm not a big fan of it, but the Hikari Sinking pellets, I really like them. The fish have great colour, and I don't see any sunken bellies or anything like that. They're all eating well. They're getting a good portion, which is what you want. That's pretty much it. So I would say about £20 a week on electric, and about £20 to £30 a month on food. Yes, it's not cheap, but it's worth it. Coming into the fish room and seeing fish breeding and growing out your own fish babies for your fry, it's amazing. I really enjoy it. And yeah, I love it. Next question would be, is it hard? Yes, it is quite hard. You're trying to juggle family life plus work plus a fish room where you need to spend an hour a day checking to make sure there's no casualties or any sick fish, because if there is, you need to isolate that or get rid of the casualties before it, say if there's a dead fish, it decomposes, and then it could be an ammonia spike or something in your tank, and next thing all your fish are dead. It's just something so simple that it can happen so fast. That's why a lot of fish keepers won't run a fish room, just because of the risk of losing a full tank of fish. So looking after one fish tank is easy enough because you see that fish tank every day. Looking after a fish room, it's a different story. You're looking after, at the minute I'm only looking after 6 tanks, but even at that 6 tanks it's still hard because I have a lot of fish. Would I change anything? Yes, I would. If I was to start over and redo the fish room, I would set up my racking system to one filtration. I wouldn't have them all sponge filters. I would run it through a sump. I'd have every tank sumped, so that means that if I do one water change, that one water change is the whole racking system being changed. There's no getting buckets and siphoning out each tank one at a time. It just gets messy and annoying. So I would definitely do that. I would also look into heating the room. Now I am going to look into that again. I'm going to look into that and hopefully do that down the line, because I think that I'll be able to save money there doing that. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, leave a comment below if there's anything you'd like to know about the fish room. But yeah, we'll take a look around. So here you have it, guys. This is the fish room. As you can see, there's the racking system. Currently there is 3 54 litre tanks, 1 64 litre tank and 1 160 litre tank. And then just over here we have the 600 litre tank and the sump below it. Going in depth, here is all my breeding fish. This is mainly a mix of between peacocks and imbunas. Some really stunning fish in there. Yes, it looks overcrowded, but I want to pack it out just to try and calm aggression, because African cichlids they're not really that nice. They're lovely to look at, but they're a bit mean. So yeah, looking up close here, you can see some lovely peacock there. This is Koi. We've named him Koi just because he resembles, looks like a koi fish. There's the chief. He's the boss of the tank. He's a big bumblebee. he doesn't really like anybody breeding. I can't get a female for him. It's so hard to find females for him. So he doesn't really like people breeding. So we do have quite a few females in here holding eggs. There's one up the back there, you can't really see her. There's quite a lot. Also looking down in here, I'm gonna see Gaston. Oh, there he is away in there. That's Gaston. That's a cyanodontus catfish. He is also very large. He's about, must be 7-8 inches. He's quite a big fish. And he eats a lot. He'll normally hide throughout the day and come out at night. Lovely peacock there too. That guy. Now, moving down into below the tank. Below the tank I have all my foods, what I use each day, some fertilizer for the plants, some food, some pellets, flakes, fry food, there's a tumbler. And then moving into the sump. Now the sump has also got babies in it. They're doing quite well in there. I just got a lot of new media and stuff there. So the sump comes down into this bit, gets all that there bacteria, comes down in, and then gets kind of clears the water then with all the sponges. Comes into this third one where it's jam packed with sponges, and that's what makes your water crystal clear. And it pumps back up to there, and that's it. Now moving across, this is a 54 litre fry tank. Now currently there's no fry in it, as I don't have any fry because they're all in the 160 litre tank, but there will be fry in here soon. So there's none in there yet. Same as this tank, this is a 64 litre fry tank. Now this is for the bigger fry. Once they get to about a month old, I'll move them into here, and then from here we'll move down into the 160 litre tank. Now currently it is jam packed with fry, ranging between a month and about 3 to 4 months old. There must be at least 300 in here. There is also Bristol's Plecos. I don't really think you can see it in there. He's always hiding. Quite hard to see. But yeah, they will hopefully grow out to be lovely fish as well. Moving up, this is my quarantine tank. If I have a fish that's sick, or if I bring in new fish, they go through quarantine. So basically what quarantine tank is, none of this stuff will be in, none of the the filter, the heater, none of this will ever be in another aquarium. It is solely just for this tank. This basically means if I buy any fish, I can monitor them, make sure they're not sick or they're not getting any parasites or anything like that, and I can, once I know they're 100% clear, then they'll be added into the big tank. It's also the same if I have a sick fish in here, I will isolate that fish, I'll take him out, put him in here, figure out what's wrong, cure it as I need to, and then once he's back to health, he'll stay in here for about a week and then move back across. Moving across to this tank. This is a wee project tank I kind of set up there a few months ago. I just got a handful of plants and a handful of guppies, put it all together, and this is what's happened. Now, yes, there's a lot of snails. I knew when I got the plants that there were some snails on them, but I didn't mind that. I don't mind the look of the snails. It's also good for the glass and stuff because it keeps them clean. But as you can see, there's tons of fry everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's fry moving. Guppies are one of them fish as well that they're not hard to look after. Your average fish keeper can keep guppies no problem. All you need is a filter, a heater, and a water. That's it. Now, I also have a lot of plants in here. The reason why I have a lot of plants is because it's good for the filtration. The plants are full of bacteria, and they eat up most of the nitrates and nitrite, and they keep this water really, really clean. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then, oh, sorry, just down below there, that's just like a storage space. One thing I would say is, if you're wanting to have a fish room, get old towels, and lots of them. Fish rooms get messy quick. You're going to spill water. It's not a matter of if you spill water, it's when you spill water. It's going to happen. I just have a bucket, some white paper towels, some other stuff there, and just up and behind here you can see my air pumps. Now, I run all the tanks on the rack with these 2 air pumps and tools. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the fish room. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. If you liked this video, if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be amazing. And if you haven't already done so, if you'd hit that subscribe button, that would also be great. Thanks.